It's podcadzo. Diehard Republicans, that was their crusade, was like
We gotta
stopping
stop
Hillary
pedophilia.
from having sex with children. Anyways,
That's a really good way to
what's
start
up,
the
boys? What's up, guys? What the hell's up?
I don't even want to know.
I like your shirt.
Thanks,
Guinness
I look
shirt.
like Harry Potter today again.
Nah, you look like a rugby player though.
Yes.
This is a rugby shirt.
Wow. Why was that so hard for you?
Try not to splash it on my fancy shirt.
Wow, you're actually gonna drink beer out of the Stein today.
Yeah, man, I have the Shine.
Not
It's a
any
bit-
beer. The best beer in the world.
Sad Panda.
Please sponsor us.
Sad Panda is the best beer.
Horse and Dragon. That'd be cool.
Meanwhile, I'm here with my Twisted Tea. I'm choosing
Yeah,
violence today.
dude.
Twisted Tea could sponsor us too. I'd be alright with that. Have you ever had Sad Panda?
No.
Do you like stouts? Do you want to try a sip?
Do you want to try it out of the Stein?
Yeah, fresh sip.
It's clean.
It's
dude.
a
My
coffee
lips have
stout.
not touched it since 2 weeks ago.
Smells like coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tastes like coffee. Tastes like a cup of black coffee.
Ooh.
It's pretty nice, huh?
Black coffee.
It's fucking delicious.
Pretty good.
It's kind of like Red Bull vodka too, because it's caffeinated, so you can literally go all night on it.
And it's also like 7%,
Yeah.
something like that.
Nice.
Anyway,
Woo!
we
Welcome back to Podcadzo.
Yes,
Quincy,
What's good?
welcome back.
you're back
to
again.
Podcadzo.
Thank you. Wow. 3 times in a row.
Is
It's
this
crazy.
your third sode?
Yes,
or
my
fourth?
third.
I couldn't remember.
Either third or fourth. Something like that.
All right. Well, either way, you're the first 3-peater, potentially first 4-peater.
If only we knew.
We're back today, of course, to talk about hip hop.
We're closing her
Close in
down.
the loop. This will be the last episode in this dedicated block of hip hop episodes, but we'll certainly be back to talk about hip hop. We owe
100%.
Austin another episode too, and Tao wants to get on. Shout out Tao.
Yeah, whatever happened to Tao?
I don't know, dude.
He's a busy guy.
Scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
It was mostly our fault.
Yeah.
I kept moving
My
it on
fault,
him.
you mean?
Yeah, mostly your fault.
Fuck. Sorry. I got shit to do, man.
No, you don't.
I'm a busy guy.
You
It
get,
takes me a long time to get my shoes tied.
you get COVID like every other week. That's your
Oh
problem.
yeah, sure. First time having COVID, by the way. I know I already told you guys, but I felt fucking proud that I'd never had COVID before. And now it's ruined because I got COVID.
Well, I still
and-
haven't had it.
Cool, good for you.
Yeah.
Fucking
Don't say never, man.
I'm not saying never. I'm just saying if it was
Maybe
real,
you'll get
I
it when you're out
probably
on
would
the
have
rugby
had it.
field.
was
by
real.
now, yeah.
You heard it first, y'all. Colin does not think COVID is real.
And I think we need to catch these goddamn pedophiles. And what's up with Holly Weird these days, guys?
they're pushing
Isn't
their
that weird?
typical agendas, you know?
Yeah.
They want us all having gay sex.
Yeah. Why
Just
do all
because I
these-
have a shitload of gay sex doesn't mean it's because of the liberal elite.
Oh my God.
That's my own independent choice.
Yeah.
I don't like having agendas pushed on me.
Yeah. You had never been involved in Holly Weird at all. You don't even watch movies.
I don't watch movies. I'm pretty far behind.
He had gay sex before he saw Lion King.
Which Lion King?
The virginal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what's on Netflix?
Not
Is
gay
the new,
porn.
Not gay porn. That's true. The new Mario movie.
I did.
Oh, it's
see
on
that.
Peacock too.
Oh, really?
Speaking of gay porn, Peacock.
I love watching cocks pee.
Oh my gosh.
Anywho, how are you doing, Quincy?
I'm doing good.
Any news? You got a show coming up?
I do got a show coming up. December 16th in Fort Collins at the Atrium.
Hell yeah. Everyone be there.
Pull up.
That's a Saturday?
That is a
It
Saturday.
is a
That's going to be
Saturday.
a great show.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome.
Atrium's a fun venue.
Yeah, my good friend Rudy, aka Drebin, is gonna be joining us along with an up and coming DJ in the Fort Collins area named Stein, which I'm super excited to work with him because he's been
Is he
making
German?
a lot of. I would think so.
Yeah. DJ Stein.
Stein!
But yeah, no, I'm
Mark
excited.
that for me to compress that. That's going to clip. Mark here in the. This is a note for me. I'll edit this out.
You're not going to edit this out. You don't edit shit out.
No, I don't.
Well, nice. That's going to be fucking sick. honestly, like, I don't know, Atrium seems kind of like the perfect venue for like a house show in a lot of ways.
Well,
because it's kind of just like being in a living room.
Well, I mean, it's like
True. It's a house.
It's the only place in town so far that plays good music. You know what I mean? Because like the Aggie, I don't know what's going on with them. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got some really good shows coming up for next year, so I'm excited. But it's like since I've been here, it hasn't been so hot. And other venues like Bar District.
Yeah, fuck the bar district.
That place needs to get an ownership change. But yeah, no, the Atrium has been a good place. I played there before. It was really good vibes, so I can't wait to play there again. It's awesome.
Hell yeah. It's going to be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Everyone show up.
Pull up.
Be there.
You pull up.
Julie and I will probably be there.
I'll be there.
So if you ever wanted to meet us, you could do it there.
I mean, yeah, you could also just meet me by...
Dude, why do I keep... Everyone who listens to this podcast already knows us.
I was going to say, you could meet me by just hitting me up, because you probably already have my phone number if you're watching this.
So I'm desperate for attention.
Well, hell yeah. Any other news? Anything fun?
Nah.
Fuck yeah.
That's it. Just working on new mixes and stuff. Nothing really new.
Dope.
Wow.
Well, we'll keep our eyes out for new mixes as always.
Mm-hmm.
Lit.
Hell yeah. Anything new with you?
I
feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, I feel like it has. I don't know, dude. Life just keeps throwing punches, dude, and they just fucking glide right off of me. Like
Nice.
Floyd Mayweather, you know?
Hell
Can't
yeah.
get me down. I'm not super depressed.
No, it doesn't look like it. You look like you're killing it.
I'm fine. Yeah, dude, I don't know. You know, I was just on the way over here deciding what energy I should bring into the podcast today, because I was ready to just come in and be a real motherfucker and just like existential,
Wow.
be really sad.
Okay.
And
Seems like you've made a little switch decision.
yeah.
in the last
And
minute.
I was like, no, screw that, dude. I'm gonna bring
You're gonna
the
fake
good
it.
vibes that everyone expects from me, and start off by talking about pedophilia and gay porn. What else? I don't know. Today was a beautiful day. It's weird that it's December and it's 65 degrees outside and sunny.
Yeah. I wish it would snow
I
more again.
They're saying Thursday, I think it's supposed
Oh,
to
really?
snow. Yeah.
Shit. Cool.
I hope not. I gotta drive to the airport in a couple weeks. I gotta go fly home to Houston.
For Christmas?
Yes, because the last time it
Yeah,
snowed.
dude. Did you hear this story?
No.
Quincy has maybe one of the worst travel stories I've heard.
So, it's pretty famous actually.
I'm excited.
Did y'all see what happened last year with not just DIA but like literally every airport in the U.S. with Southwest? Guess who flies Southwest? So I get to the airport. Well, the day before I was supposed to fly out, it started snowing. And so because of that, my flight got moved to the next day. I think it was like Christmas Eve or something. So I was like, okay, I'll fly out Christmas Eve. I wake up Christmas Eve, 8 o'clock. I get a text saying that my flight's been canceled. I was like, oh, shit. I need to rebook another flight because what the fuck you mean my shit got canceled? So I'm scrambling, trying to book another flight. I ended up getting another flight for, I think, 5 p.m. that day. So I was like, okay, cool. I get to the airport around 1 because I want to make sure that I get there on time. Plus, the roads are pretty snowy, so I don't want to drive too crazy, especially not at night. So I get to the airport around 1, check in. I'm sitting at my gate, waiting for us to board. By the time it was like 4 o'clock, right? Yeah, they said that the flight was delayed. And that was the start of the turmoil that was the Christmas disaster of Southwest. So they delayed it until like about 9 o'clock. Mind you, I was supposed to take off at 5 o'clock. And by the time it hit 9 o'clock, they said, your flight has been canceled because we didn't have another pilot to fly the plane. And I'm like, wow. So that happened. So I had to go to the front desk and request a refund because I was like, well, I'm missing Christmas, whatever. Then I went to go get my bag back. Oh, your bag's already on its way to Houston.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, I was like, what the fuck you mean my bag's already on the way to Houston? Like the flight didn't even take off. He's like, oh yeah, so we can't give you back your bag because it's already on its way to Houston and you'll have to file a claim to get it back. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this screws me over a lot yet again. So I go to the next desk, the baggage claim, right, to go file the claim. The line is literally wrapping around all of DIA, which sucks.
Probably happened to a shitload of people.
Oh, absolutely. It got to the point where I just gave up. So I basically got there at 1, didn't get home until 1 a.m. So I was at the airport for almost 12 hours. Then, yeah, I didn't get my bag back that day. I had to file a claim online, which I did. I didn't get my bag back until like 3 weeks later.
Jesus.
And on top of that, like I got no notification of it like being on its way back to my place. They didn't call, they didn't text. Mind you, I live in an apartment. So I came home from work one day and I just saw my bag just sitting right in front of my door. I'm like, how long has this been sitting here? Anyone could have taken my bag and
Fucking
fucking stole
nice shit in it, right?
Oh, I had a laptop in there for my aunt. And then I had some AirPods for my mom because that was their Christmas presents.
Damn.
And like a bunch
Quincy
of your
gets
clothes.
good
too.
gifts.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Quincy's rolling in it, man.
I won't say all that. I won't say all that. I just wanted to give them something nice, you know? It's Christmas.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
But yeah, that happened. And I'm telling you, that shit could have been stolen. Not to mention, my good pair of Jordans could have been stolen.
That would have been the saddest part.
I would have been so upset.
Dude, I just saw the fucking stupidest YouTube short. By the way, you've ruined my life with YouTube shorts.
Fuck you. I'm glad it's not just me. Every time I get on YouTube Shorts, I'm like, man, I'm such a piece of fucking shit. Then I spend like 2 hours on YouTube Shorts
Yeah.
watching people do
Well, it's the fucking
skibbity toilet.
It's the worst corner of the internet. But it was this chick on a flight. I don't know if any of this was real, but certainly the ending wasn't real. Where she was sitting in her seat on a plane and then is like just has herself on the selfie camera real close. An announcement comes over and they're like, hey, the flight's going to be delayed because one of our pilots is running late. So we have to like look for another pilot. And then she's just like, I'm a pilot. And they're like, you're a pilot? It's like, it just ends there. I'm like, they did not just let you. First of all, you're not a fucking pilot.
Can you clock
Second
in
of all,
right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, YouTube shorts suck.
Yeah, fuck YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me one time when I was in Mexico coming back, like earlier this year. We were like on the plane. We were like about ready to leave. Like we were about to taxi. And then they came over the speaker and they were like, we have like a mechanical issue with the plane, so we can't take off till a mechanic gets here to like look at it. And then it was literally like 2 hours.
Was
and then after
someone
that,
on the plane
2
like,
hours,
I'm a mechanic. Leave it to me,
I got
guys.
my wrenches with me. No, like after like 2 hours, they came back over the speaker and they were like, well, the co-pilot is about to hit their like peak, their cap on hours. So now we have to get a new co-pilot. And then
What
like
the
another
F?
2 hours went by. We were on the plane the entire fucking time. Like we did not get off the plane. And we took off, like probably 4.5 hours after we were supposed to. And the entire time I was just sitting there like steaming. Like all the patience that I normally have
Oh yeah,
was
There's
gone in an
nothing
instant.
Like
I was just like,
sitting
what
on the runway.
fuck is happening? Like I demand justice for this.
I was
And
just
I never got
thinking if it would be funny if 9/11 happened because
It did happen.
they
It did happen. Like,
if the reason why it happened is because they were missing a pilot and then some like the woman in the video was like just this young, pretty attractive Asian woman. Like if some hot young Asian chick was like, I'm a pilot.
And then she
just
flew the
flew
plane
it
into the Twin
that's
Towers.
fucking insane. What if that actually happened? Oh
didn't
my
even mean
gosh.
to. And then I kind of was like, we did that.
Well, this episode's getting
No,
demonetized.
for real. So quick.
Anyways, hip-hop
Anyways, we're going to
music.
talk about hip hop now somehow.
Yes. Let's do that.
So we were talking about,
We're 12
the
years
years-
post 9/11 now.
yep, the world is starting to heal.
Yeah.
Well, America isn't, but the rest of the world has pretty much moved on from 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Or anyway, last time we finished with 2012,
Yes.
so we're starting with 2013, and we're just gonna try to get all the way through the list and finish the sucker down. So
I'll just say this right now. This is my favorite year because 1, I graduated high school, and 2, every single one of these albums we're about to talk about probably top tier, except for one of them, and I'll let you know.
yeah, some of them aren't top tier. That's why I put them on the list because we had to have a little bit of balance.
I've argued with Julian before that 2013. I think we had this conversation too. That 2013 was the last year of pop culture. That we've been on a decline since then.
The last year of
absolutely.
like good pop culture that
I'm
has some
like-
sort of substance to
Yeah,
it.
and that actually made sense and followed a.
I don't know if I think we might have a good few years after this, but
I think the decline starts in 2016.
I remember that's what you said.
Yes, it was 2016.
Because that was, but for me that was like then like full Trump era EDM music wise, and it had already been
by 2016, yeah, we were already on the decline.
yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
it started before that.
Like I would say, like we did hit it. We hit the peak
2016
2013.
it was really noticeable. 2016.
Plateaued from 2013 to 2016, and now it's going down the shitter.
Now it just doesn't even fucking make sense. I don't even know why I'm alive anymore.
now pop culture is created by and pretty much reliant on TikTok trends and like internet
Just the
trends
internet
Oh,
in
yeah,
general.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2013, we already hyped it up pretty fat. We got Doris by Earl Sweatshirt coming out.
I fucking love that album.
Probably in my top 10 for hip hop albums. It's fucking incredible. And Earl Sweatshirt has like such a unique style. Not only like his rapping is unique and like very stream of consciousness, very like free flowing, but the production is also like very much like alternative rap style. And Doris is more mainstream, I would say, sounding.
Yeah.
But it gets like more experimental as his catalog goes further and further. And then Drake, Nothing Was the Same.
Another good Drake album.
Yeah, I
You think
must
so?
say, even though I pretty much fucking hate Drake and shit on Drake all the time, I do think this album is a good example of like actual kind of like indie rap, like
Yeah.
sad boy rap stuff before it's just about like, I don't know, being tongue in cheek
Yeah.
or whatever you want to even call Drake these days. And then RTJ1. Do you like Run the Jewels?
Run the Jewels.
Killer Mike EP.
I've heard them, but I don't think I've like actually dove into like listening to them.
Yeah. I really like Killer Mike, and I like LP too. Like, I like their raps. I just don't necessarily like anything else about Run the Jewels. Like,
Really?
all their tracks just feel uninspired to me.
I like Run the Jewels. I thought the album they put out a couple years ago, Run the Jewels 3, that one was a great album.
I also think Run the
And
Jewels 4 is really good. I
Yeah.
think they've gotten better as they've gone on, and they've like definitely found more unique voices, but their production, like their tracks themselves, have always just been kind of like phoned in feeling to me, kind of.
I wasn't that into Killer Mike's solo album. Michael.
Me neither. My favorite part of it was Andre 3000's
Yeah.
verse.
He had a lot of great features.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
All right. And then Because the Internet by Donald Glover. I think this is a pretty important album for like a lot of people. Like a lot of people that are our age especially like really, really revere Donald Glover.
I would say like this was his pivotal album. Like that was the album that like Camp was good. Don't get me wrong, Camp was really, really good. But what gave Donald Glover his flowers, what gave Childish Gambino his flowers was this album right here.
Yeah, I agree.
did this have Redbone on it?
Yeah.
Redbone?
No, Redbone was on the
Isn't
next
Redbone
album.
on
Next one?
the one
Okay.
with the weird cover?
Yes.
Yeah, 2013 felt early for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Into Cud by Kid Cudi.
Love that album.
This album slaps.
It's such a good album.
And then Watching Movies with Sound Off by
Off.
Mac Miller. Again, I've pretty much already admitted I'm not a big Mac Miller guy. I'm ignorant to most of the Mac Miller, so I don't really have anything to say about this record.
It's a good record. I can't recall much of the tracks on it, but like
Let's look it up.
it definitely was a good album. I remember listening to it, and I only had good things to say.
I remember a lot of people saying that this is like his most like rappy album. They could be wrong, but
It could be. I mean, I think it starts to transition because like afterward, a lot of the music Mac makes is
It's a long
lot of
album.
Sad Boy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
And then Acid Rap by Chance.
That was my first. That tour was my first concert ever.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was my first concert ever.
Oh, wow.
I distinctly remember. It was me and my younger brother. We went to that concert. That had been the first time me and my younger brother smoked weed. Good time. Good fucking time. Like Acid Rap was like. This was SoundCloud era right here.
Totally. Yeah, I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
make a mention just super quickly since we're talking about Acid Rap. Like, I think this album helped solidify SoundCloud. It's a serious platform where serious music is released. Because, I mean, like, Good Kid, Mad City obviously helped too. And that was a few years prior. But there were so many people who hadn't normally fucked with SoundCloud that got SoundCloud, like, exclusively to see what, like, Chance the Rapper was all
Yeah,
about.
because Chance wasn't releasing any of his mixtapes or albums at the time. He wasn't releasing them on any major streaming platform.
Yep.
So you couldn't find it on Spotify. You couldn't find it on Apple Music. It was only on SoundCloud.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Acid Rap was, like, a SoundCloud only album for a long time.
I always considered Chance the Rapper a major label whore, so that's good to know.
He didn't make a major label debut until like 6 years into his career.
Which one was it? It wasn't.
My Big Day.
Yeah, The Big Day is when I think was his first. Like,
That was his first major label.
Or it was
It's
one
called My
before
Big
that
Day?
though. I think
Same
there was
as,
one before that.
Fucking Bombay Bicycle Club.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I
Yeah.
never made that connection
Yeah,
till
that's
right now.
funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's called The Big Day.
The Big Day. That was the last Chance the Rapper album I listened to, and
It sucked.
it was so
it wasn't
bad.
good. But
it was
I feel like Acid Rap kind of got a lot of people who didn't normally listen to like rap or hip hop super into like rap and hip hop,
Oh, yeah.
especially like alternative style, because it had a lot of like gospel singing and like
yeah.
uh,
Well, I mean,
soul influence.
I actually enjoyed that about Chance, but I think it just got to a point where I was just like, it was such a flip from like acid rap, because like you listen to acid rap, you're like, you listen to acid rap and then you listen to like The Big Day or you listen to Coloring Book, you're like, man, this is not the same Chance that I started listening to.
I think the problem with My Big Day is literally that it's so all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Like that has songs where he tries to do like just like freestyle rapping. He has songs that are like fully produced and like kind of experimental, not even like necessarily rap songs. It's just like super scattered. Like if he did all one or the other, it probably would have worked a little better.
Right.
But seems kind of thrown together a little bit, just like. But anyway, Yeezus by the boy Ye.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I think this might be the one on the list that isn't great.
I'm checked out of Kanye completely by this point already. So I now understand the significance of this album because it was a polarizing album, but either way important for people because it's either like for you where you hate it a bunch where it's memorable or people really
A shitload of people
Jesus.
say it's his best
Yeah,
one.
say it's the best one.
Which
yeah.
I don't understand, because we talked about the other projects leading up to this album, and I can tell you from like the first 3 albums should be his top albums, period. But for people to say that Yeezus was his best album, I
honestly
just don't
think
understand.
Life of Pablo is better than Yeezus.
I do too.
Like
I do too.
significantly better. And even like Donda in a lot of ways
Is better.
is better than Yeezus. I think Yeezus is kind of the same as what we were just shitting on Chance for. Like it's so undynamic and all over the place. Like it doesn't pick a lane and stick to it. It really is just like Kanye's weirdest, most like
just schizophrenic.
schizophrenic production desires recorded.
I give you 3 songs on the album that I can tolerate listening to. Bound 2, probably the top one.
Yeah.
It's a good song. Bound 2, New Slaves, Black Skin Head. That's it. If anyone says that any other song outside of those 3 is their best,
We'll beat the shit out of you.
they're lying. They're lying if they say that that's their favorite song in the album. Those 3. I'm saying that right now. If you say any other song outside of the 3 that I just said is your favorite song, you're fucking lying.
I wish I could name a different song off the album.
The only reason why I listened to that album was because I thought the album art was cringy as fuck. That's the only reason why I listened to the album.
I mean, the album art wasn't bad. I just wasn't expecting what I was
Cringy.
listening to, you know? Like,
It does the thing that bothers me about the album art is it has nothing to do with the content of the album.
Pull up the album
Like it's
art.
just a
I wanna see
random.
it.
it's just... I don't
You've
even know.
definitely seen it.
I'm without
It's a
technology
CD, I
right now.
think. It's just a CD.
Like
Oh yeah.
it's so
Okay, yeah, I
it's
forgot
so
that
like
was it.
lazy
Yeah.
and like there's nothing that goes into something like a design like that, but because it's like Kanye and it's attached to such a controversial album, it's now like I feel like one of the most recognizable images in pop culture. But it's so simple and fucking stupid.
That's crazy because no one bought CDs in 2013.
Yeah, I guess that's a
Way
good point.
late.
I wouldn't say that. I was still
Yeah,
rocking
I
a
I was
CD
still
player.
rocking CDs too.
Dude, I've been listening to CDs lately because Julia has a new car and it only has a CD player, so I busted out the
She
old
has a
collection,
new car
dude.
with only a CD player.
New to her.
What is it?
It's a Highlander.
Nice.
2007.
Yoda
Nice.
gang.
Toyota
Yes.
gang, dude.
Yes.
Toyotas are great cars.
I
but
love
yeah,
Toyotas.
I busted off the old fucking CD collection and
You gotta have the booklet.
oh, I have
right?
a booklet.
Yeah, the
Nice,
booklet. I fucking
but those
love that
kind of
shit.
scratch up your discs. You gotta be
Not if you
careful.
have the one with the sleeves. The ones with
Mm.
the sleeves.
I always
yeah,
just
mine's
had
pretty, my discs are already
It's always just, like,
scratched as
vinyl.
shit too.
Okay. My Name is My Name by Pusha T. Another kind of classic. Pretty good. And then Long
Not
Live
familiar.
ASAP.
I fucking love this album.
This album's pretty good.
Goldie.
I think in a lot of ways this is kind of the beginning of the end for ASAP for me anyway. Like,
No. I'm not gonna say that.
fair enough. And then Wolf by Tyler. Another album that I think is very important to like a lot of people our age.
Yes.
All
We
right.
talked about Tyler last time, and so I went home and watched Loiter Squad.
Dude, Motor Squad is
Yeah.
brilliant.
It is.
Especially when you're high as fuck.
I was thinking
That
this
show blows your mind.
That
this
was
might be a
peak
stretch,
comedy.
but this podcast is kind of our Loiter Squad. We're legitimate artists in the prime of our career making important music, but we need an outlet to be a goofball and just mess around with our friends.
Yes.
Show the sillier side.
This is
And that's
like
what
our version of Fuck That's
podcadzo is.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Except we don't eat food
True.
or cook food or educate people in any way.
I don't know. I think my thing about pedophilia at the start was pretty good.
That wasn't educational.
That was.
Okay, sure.
So
Should we move on?
Yeah.
The year 2014.
2014.
All right. So in the year 2014, we have Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q coming
Did you
out.
start college in 2014? Undergrad?
No, I started in 2013.
Oh, yeah, because you
yeah.
graduated 2013.
Yeah.
I forgot how years work.
Oxymoron for me is pretty important. Like it's one of the albums that kind of got me into newer rap because I didn't really fuck with newer rap for a while. I was mostly just into OG hip hop. And this album kind of was like a really good fusion of like old school style with like some new school
Right.
influence and ideas.
This was like, for me, it was like peak TDE. Because like they were starting to introduce the way TDE being
Top Dog.
Top Dog Entertainment, which is Kendrick's label. This was the start of like that collective getting more hype, the same way that Odd Future did, right? Because you had Schoolboy, Kendrick, SZA, J Rock.
SZA was on that.
Yeah, J Rock is another
J Rock
one.
was on that. Who else starts with an A? Forget, but
Adolf.
no. Absol. Yeah, it was like the start of like that collective getting famous and stuff like that. So I appreciated this album a lot. And I think the quote unquote viral track off this album was Collard Greens, because I remember at the time I still had my beater of a Corolla and I was listening to the radio a lot and it came on almost every station.
And now Gangsta is having like a pop culture moment, kind of like people are coming back around to the song Gangsta and like, putting it in stuff.
Wasn't there like a shooting at a Schoolboy Q Red Rock show or something like that?
There
Or
was?
2018. I don't think it was bad. I think like
At Red
only
Rocks?
at Red Rocks.
Oh shit!
God.
Like it wasn't a mass shooting. I think just two idiots were there with guns and shot each other or something.
They got gated security though. How the hell did they get?
I don't know, dude.
No, they wasn't patting down at
Just
Red
Google
Rock.
it.
Yeah.
Red Rocks shooting.
That's insane.
Oh wow, there's been multiple Red Rock shootings.
Whoa.
I did not know.
I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to start being careful when I go to Red Rocks now.
I slept on Schoolboy Q though. It came around to him because he was on a. I was always aware of him, but like he was on a Gorillaz track.
Oh yeah.
On 2 albums ago. I think it was off of fucking. What album was that?
Was it Humans?
Yeah, it was Humans.
I think it was Humans.
Yeah. Or was it Song Machine? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It might have been Song
He was on a
Machine.
Gorillaz.
I can't remember. They put out like 3 albums in 2 years. So.
Yeah.
And then 2014 Forest Hills Drive by J. Cole.
Great album.
This was the first like more like artsy rap album that I knew about, and it got like fuckloads of critical acclaim. That's why I checked it out.
It's so good, and I'm really sad that like he didn't win a Grammy for this album because I feel like a lot of people loved this album. Like for me, this is another album that like very few albums that I listen to start to finish, and this was one of them. Like I fucking love this album.
It is a very solid concept.
Right.
Like he was on a very good like trajectory for this one. And then Hell Can Wait by Vince Staples. Again, like a good example of a more like alternative hip hop style like production because his shit is just like super gritty and like super raw, like distorted, super hard vocals, like not a whole lot of softness to the Vince Staples shit until later. Like he kind of reinvented himself the last few years, but. And then Pink Print by Nicki Minaj, which again, for like a lot of people is a really big deal. I miss Nicki Minaj. Like I didn't ever hop on Nicki Minaj train, but I know this album's like a super big deal.
Yeah. I mentioned last time I'm a Nicki Minaj fan, but like at this era I was like fully in, my hipster indie kid phase. So like couldn't admit to liking Nicki Minaj. Whatever it came up like, yeah, it's fucking rips.
It was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then You're Dead by Flying Lotus, which this album I put on here because it's not necessarily like a rap album all the way through, but it has like some of the best rap verses on it. I forget the name of the Kendrick song that's on this album, but that song goes hard as fuck. And then it's kind of just like, again, another example of more of a shift towards like alternative hip hop and like people going for like a lot of production experimentation for like the main point of interest.
I think I discovered Flying Lotus from watching Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their tracks were like, like when they have the little breaks between shows and they just show off like the little black background and then they're just typing random shit on the screen. I would hear like a bunch of Flying Lotus tracks off of that. So I didn't know what the names of the songs were per se, but they were really good tracks. It's very like indie rap, very laid back, chill, not like in your face gangster rap type shit.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the only albums I actually listened to this year from this list.
It's
Flying Lotus.
it's very good in the sense that it doesn't appear as like a rap or a hip hop album. It's very much just like it's kind of like almost a DJ album in a lot of ways.
Flying Lotus is like kind of like a DJ
Yeah.
Avalanche sort of like in that vein.
DJ
of
Shadow.
DJ
type.
Shadow. Or sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. DJ Shadow or the Avalanches, which is
Yeah,
a
the
DJ.
Avalanches,
yeah.
and then like the Dust Brothers and all that shit.
Yeah.
The Kendrick song is Never Catch Me, by the way. And that song fucking rips. And I think that song is kind of one of those songs that like plays a lot and a bunch of people know it, but they don't necessarily know it's Flying Lotus.
Right.
Like kind of speaking to your point. And then RTJ2, another improvement from the first, but I think it's still kind of like, I don't know, not a whole lot of people talk about RTJ2. It's like RTJ1, RTJ3. Those are like the people's favorites. And then 36 Seasons by Ghostface Killah. This album fucking rips. It's like one of the last, in my opinion, like true gangster rap albums where it's just about like fucking shit up, getting gritty, like being dirty. And then Pinata by Freddie Gibbs. I'm a big Freddie Gibbs fan. I think Pinata's solid. This is the album that got me into Freddie Gibbs. It has like solid production. It's like groovy as fuck. It's got like the stoner culture from like the East Coast, but it's also got like a fuckload of gangster rap influence. And he raps kind of like an old school guy. Like he's got a very old school style. So I think that's kind of why I like it.
This reminded me of Fab Five Freddy. And some interesting trivia. Do you guys know what the first quote unquote rap song to go #1 in the States was?
No.
Who the artist was? It's going to blow your mind. Blondie. The song Rapture is a rap song. She raps on it the whole way through.
I think I did.
And it went to
hear about
#1
that at some point.
And she mentions Fab Five Freddy in it.
Okay, cool.
Anyways,
Thanks a lot.
Wealth of knowledge over here.
And
bring to the
then
pod.
we got And Then You Shoot Your Cousin by The Roots, which I think
Hilarious
is
title.
also a very good album. It's a
Yeah.
funny title.
And then you shoot your cousin. That's always how I read it.
The album is very much about gang violence and shit like that. And then
Okay, you downer.
yeah,
Debbie
had to bring
Downer,
it back
yeah.
to earth.
It's not so funny when you think about it that way.
And then Under Pressure by Logic. I personally fucking hate Logic. I always have.
I hate
but
Logic as well. Logic is...
I know you have. I know. Don't you like Logic?
I like Logic.
Okay.
Logic is ugly Mac Miller or ugly fucking
Ugly
not Mac Miller.
Macklemore.
Macklemore. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So
That's
I guess I'm the one to bring the hot take because
no, that's fun.
Under Pressure was how I got introduced to Logic through SoundCloud.
Uh-huh.
It was really good. Like I liked his bars a lot. Did not know that this man was white at all.
Yeah, because he says the N word every other fucking.
He's mixed.
I
He's
know
mixed
he's mixed,
from what I found that out later.
That's
but
his story at least.
yeah.
And he's sticking to it.
And he's sticking to it. But no, like Under Pressure was, I think, definitely his best album. Like I can't disrespect the album. It was really good. Now later projects, that's to be debated, but Under Pressure.
Yeah, I
was
think
definitely-
he's one of those artists that has gone straight downhill. Like, if he ever had artistic integrity, he certainly doesn't have anymore. Like, it's gone.
Happened when he did that Suicide song.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically,
That
that
was
was
the
him
beginning of the
killing
end.
his own career.
Yeah.
All right. 2015, baby. We got To Pimp a Butterfly, which I think possibly might be one of, if not the best, like, hip-hop rap albums of all time.
I'd agree.
I think that maybe part of the reason why I feel that way is because it like somewhat appeases like the nerdy side of me. Like it's got a shitload of jazz influence. There's like songs that are straight up jazz songs with just like raps inserted and like full jazz bands were used, live instrumentation, like, and then there's other songs that are like very much traditional hip hop, like soul influenced or like funk influenced, and the like chances that he takes on the record are fucking crazy. Like the way that he uses his voice and he projects his voice in all sorts of different ways, and he sings and he raps and he's just like unafraid on that record. I think that's why to me it's like, holy shit, this is truly fucking genius. Like he did not give a fuck what went down on that record, it seems like.
It's definitely top 2 albums for sure.
Yeah.
See, I have an issue trying to compare this one to Good Kid, Mad City because like both albums are classics. This is like I can't choose between the two.
And he's one of the very few artists, not just in rap, but like in any genre, that has like multiple albums that are arguably perfect.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to get to Damn. I want to know what you guys think about Damn, but we'll save that.
We'll save it.
We'll say it.
Summertime '06 by Vince Staples. I also think this record's fucking incredible and a step up in like the unhinged like weirdness of the Vince Staples universe. And then I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside by Earl Sweatshirt. Again, for me, like probably a top 5
It's a great album.
because it's like emo as fuck. It appeals to the sad boy that's in me, which all of my favorite music on earth is like super fucking sad. I don't know why. And then
just a
this album
coincidence.
is like the perfect example of like alternative emo rap. It's not like emo rap in the sense that the production is emo, but like the content is very like sad and self-reflective. And then Good AM by Mac Miller.
That was a good one, but I think that was the transition to like his sad boy stuff.
The beginning of the sad boy.
Doesn't he die like the next year though?
No, there's other projects.
There's like multiple.
I thought he died in like 2016.
Isn't it like 2018?
I thought it was 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple more after this one.
I don't know. I've never listened to a Mac Miller song.
And then Every Hero Needs a Villain by Sarface. I put this one in here because we never really talked about the Sarface universe or like MF Doom or any of those homies, but this album is a good encapsulation of like the entire Sarface universe in my opinion, so I threw it on there. And then Young Rich Nation by Migos.
You know, we missed 2 projects with the Migos. We're in 2015. Dang. Okay. So they came out 2013, but I think that's their first like debut album.
That's kind of why I was trying to put like breakthroughs for first albums on here.
Well, depending on where you grew up. the breakthrough mixed project that they had, it was called YRN, and I can't say the N part because this is a podcast. It's a family friendly podcast. But
this is supposed to be family friendly. Fuck.
But no,
Mark here, reminder to cut out the gay porn stuff.
Cut out the pedophile stuff too, for sure.
That's fine. That's family related.
Because kids are involved.
But YRN, Young Rich N-words. That project was very, very iconic, especially for when I was growing up in the South, because every party was playing Hannah Montana like it was nothing. Oh my God, the song Hannah Montana was just chef's kiss.
See, and that's like
Golly.
that shit blows my mind because like I did not know who Migos were until after Migos was already done, and furthermore, I don't care for Migos. I don't think they're good.
To each their own. But yeah, no, they're great. R.I.P. Takeoff. He died, I think, either last year or 2 years ago. But it's like it's crazy to think, like listening to their music. I mean, that shit got me hype in the morning, getting ready to go to class. I would remember I'll bump that shit, with my shitty Corolla speakers, windows down, just bumping like Hannah Montana or Versace with Drake. Oh my God.
I do know that song actually.
So good.
This is I'm not criticizing Migos' music at all here. I don't really have an opinion on them, but by the time when I heard Migos, I was like, okay, I'm checking out. Like this is no longer I'm no longer part of it.
I think Migos, and this isn't me trying to shit on them genuinely, but I think Migos is a pretty good example of like one of the kind of more culture shifty rap like groups or ensembles from like the last 10 years.
They definitely are, and a lot of people. I remember Snoop Dogg criticizing them too.
Like being mumble rap?
Yeah, mumble rap. But it was one of those things where if you wasn't from the South, you didn't get it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So like Atlanta rappers during this time was taking over the rap scene. Like,
yeah, they really did. Like
I'm talking about, you had Migos, you had Future, you had Young Thug. That was the start of the mumble rap era that a lot of old heads did not enjoy, and for good reason. I understand, but again, if you weren't from the South, you did not understand.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a different type of rap from what original like gangster rap was. Like they're just different things. They shouldn't be compared to each other.
Right.
But I do also think it's interesting, like with Migos and other like rap groups at the time, and like mumble rap groups like Future too. Like in a lot of ways, like most types of like pop music and like rap music are trying to emulate that now. Like Future set a trend, Migos set a trend. And like even like specifically because you mentioned Takeoff passing, like Takeoff in Migos like was a huge part of, I feel like, that like glitch hop, like chopped up kind of like weird shit that we have like in all pop music now, or not all pop music, but all of that like post 2010s like trancey pop shit going on.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then let's see here, Cherry Bomb by Tyler the Creator.
I think that was a shift in his music too. 'Cause,
Totally.
like it didn't match Wolf at all, but I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I think it's a
wasn't
good
bad.
stepping stone too. Like if you went straight from Wolf to like Flower Boy, then it wouldn't make any sense. But
Right.
Cherry Bomb is like a good stepping stone to the two. And it also like, I mean, Wolf, and I don't want to say Tyler was like immature on Wolf or like not grown up yet, but Wolf is like kind of his just like I don't give a fuck album. Like
Right.
it's his like fuck the man album. And then like Cherry Bomb, there's already like a lot of personal growth I feel like that's reflected on the music. So
Absolutely.
and then Big Girl Small World by Lizzo. I also missed the Lizzo train. I did not ever understand why Lizzo got popular. I know she gets a lot of hate on the internet for being like a woman and like being fat and stuff.
Oh, she gets hate for more than that.
That's not why. Yeah.
She makes her dancers like suck on
That
bananas
yeah.
or something.
that is all,
And-
alleged, and I'm not going to take one side or the other on that, but
I'm
just
going
purely
to.
on like her being
We need to stop pedophilia in this country.
Oh,
God damn.
gosh.
Dude, I'm sorry, I'm a Republican, guys.
LOL. LOL.
LOL.
Oh my god. But
Dude, don't LOL me.
I'm sorry.
You're LOLing yourself, my guy.
Yes. But with Lizzo,
As a Republican, I won't say it. Sorry. Go ahead.
with Lizzo, like she's from Houston and she just embarrasses the city. She embarrasses the city of
She's
Houston.
from, I don't know if she's from Houston.
She's from Houston. She's actually from my neighborhood in Houston, A-Leaf.
Really?
She actually is. Yeah.
Well, as someone who is from Houston, I guess I'm glad to hear someone else saying that she misrepresents.
No, she does because it's like
As a Republican,
when
me
she
too.
when she first came out, I was like applauding her for being that unique person and making that her reality, her identity. But like after hearing the shit that she was doing with her dancers, I was like, really?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't come after us, Lizzo's legal team.
No, she can come after me. I don't care. I'm from Houston. We'll fight back. I don't care.
See a clip.
But yeah. But yeah, no, it's just man, I really tried to get into her music, but like another criticism of Lizzo is that like a lot of people from the black community didn't like her music because they said that she made music for white people, and I was like, wow.
Was Big Girl Small World a rap album?
It's not like
Rap
really
album.
a rap album. Like she does rap on it, but
Pop.
yeah, it's more of a
because by
pop
the time
album.
I ever heard of Lizzo, this was maybe like 2016. I first heard Lizzo.
She definitely
It was just like
wasn't
pop music.
discovered like until later, but there were songs from this record that did like chart.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of a good indicator in another way that like certain people wanted more alternative and experimental rap, but other people wanted more simplistic and catchy, hooky rap, which kind of goes back to some of the OG vibe. But in a lot of ways, Lizzo is just a straight up pop artist, and this album is a pop album in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, it's a good in between. I put Compton by Dr. Dre on here because like 3/4 of this album wound up charting, and it also wound up being like one of the acclaimed albums of the year on like multiple music blogs. But it's just a compilation album that they released for that movie, and Dr. Dre like produced the movie and made the soundtrack. But yeah, it was just like interesting to me that in this time of like change in this like plane of music that there's still like a lot of people wanting older
So
shit.
listen to NWA.
Yeah. And then if you're reading this, it's too late by Drake.
Another.
Fuck this album.
Really?
Yeah.
I like this. This was another good Drake album. Like,
I think I just have too many bad memories associated with the songs on this album.
Drake just has a weird career to me too, because by this time I was already like, oh, would Drake just fuck off? I'm so sick
Yeah,
of
he's
hearing
put out
Drake.
an album a
And-
year
well,
since
yeah,
we've
and
been on
it's
this.
always hit platinum. Like, like, do y'all not see what's going on here?
People are idiots and just listen to Drake songs because they're supposed to when Drake albums come out.
Well, I'll tell you, like, when we get to the year when Drake's albums start becoming shit, I'll let you know. But I'm telling you, it's like every time he's dropped an album, it's always good. It always hits at least gold. At least gold. You know, it's just
Okay,
man, I don't know.
not to jump. So we need to talk more about Drake because for me, if you say like what was rap in 2013 to now, I'd be like just Drake, pretty much. I don't know. And to me, Drake is like that episode of South Park where the Family Guy writers are actually manatees and they just find like beach balls with words written on them and then throw them into the machine and it creates a Family Guy episode. That's what a Drake song is, except the people getting beach balls are idiots in Toronto wearing like tracksuits and fucking drinking cognac. So I'm like, now, like you admit by now Drake is like, it's got to end.
No.
No? Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, anyways, I feel that way. And I remember, not to jump ahead a year, I remember Views coming out very well. That was like a significant release for me. Because at that time, again, I was like fully like, and Views was maybe the first album where like every single song charted.
Yep.
Where like Drake was just in the top 10 for like weeks, every single song. And I was just so weirded out by it then and just did not like Drake. But thinking back now, I would give anything for Drake to release another Views. Like compared to what he's doing now, Views is a good album.
Oh, it definitely is.
And I mean, even if you're not looking through that lens, I think Views is still. I think I judged it too harshly.
Okay,
then,
so
probably,
let me reframe your question slightly. Comparatively to this Drake, the Drake now feels low effort.
Very low effort.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like I feel like, and we're jumping the gun here, but like 2020 is when Drake started to fall. What project that I was just looking at? Which one was it? So he released Care Package. he released Care Package, which is like all of his old stuff from like early Drake. It was Dark Lane demo tapes. That album in 2020, and it just started declining from there. Anybody can come for me for this. I don't care, but like since 2020, Drake has just been on a decline. Yet somehow he's still charting. Somehow he's still winning Grammys. Somehow still getting platinum records. Like it's just,
I don't know. I
well,
think
it's like
part
if
of it,
Coca-Cola puts out a new drink, people are gonna drink it.
well,
Right.
I think part of it is also like the way that we want to receive our content has changed, and Drake's one of the few artists who has like adapted to kind of meet that. Like songs have gotten shorter, songs have gotten simpler. There's more hooks.
It's
there's
TikTok
more catchy
first.
shit.
It's a
like,
TikTok first approach.
Yeah,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
not TikTok, but just algorithms in general. What songs can be like short and catchy and get people hooked like instantly. Whereas like even Views, which I don't like that album, I think it's a piece of shit, but I think it even still has like genuine effort in like artistic, like trying artistic things, not just being like what's the catchiest thing,
Not
what's going to get me on a
completely
chart.
phoning it in, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yep.
Anyway, we got Rodeo by Travis Scott, which I threw on here because, again, it's another indicator of people on more of that
The
like clout
decline
shit.
of civilization.
hey, chill out. I love that album, and he's a Houston legend to us.
I think that Rodeo is Travis Scott's best record, which I know you probably don't agree, but I don't know. I think it's the most listenable for me, so.
I'd argue Astroworld.
Yeah,
I actually did
Astroworld-
like
maybe I've just
Astroworld,
heard
yeah.
Maybe I've just heard the shit on Astroworld too many times to still be
Maybe.
interested
And when I
in it,
was,
but
I jokingly said decline of civilization. Not anything against Travis Scott necessarily as an artist, but like just
The way that
the
people
world
consume
around
stuff.
him and
Yeah.
consume Travis Scott. Like what, like it's to the point where people don't even think Travis Scott is a real person anymore. Just like something that
Right.
corporations invented. Like
People that-
McDonald's invented Travis Scott, knowing they could like make a Happy Meal,
The Travis Scott meal.
after him. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. I think that in a lot of ways, Travis Scott for people is like the perfect combination of like grittiness with like that cloudy shit, that like sad boy shit.
I loved it. It was such a, from a rap perspective, it ticked all the boxes for me during this time. So like it, I don't know, man. I can't shit on Travis. Like Rodeo was good, and then not to mention like his inspiration was Kanye, and I'm talking about old Kanye. So it's like a lot of the older, like up. I want to say when I say older, I mean like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That one, like I would say that inspired like how you got Days Before Rodeo, how you got Rodeo, and so on and so forth. So yeah, no, Travis Scott is good in my book.
I also, not to shit on him constantly, but I think there is a decline for Travis Scott. Like,
There is.
especially since Astro World, because
There is.
that's the one that I think everyone clings to the most. But
Yeah.
all right, we got 90059 by J Rock, which is J Rock's first time like on the charts, first time getting notoriety. I love J Rock. I think that his rap style is, again, like slightly more old school and like draws influence from the OGs, and it's not like overly complicated, but it's also still like
What the hell?
Ignore it. Don't look at me.
it's also still just like mixing like newer influence with that old school shit.
Right.
And then 2016 we got The Life of Pablo by Kanye West.
Oh man.
Good old Yay. I think this album is the
Which is
beginning
better,
of
Life of Pablo or Pablo Honey?
honestly The Life of Pablo, I would say. I think this album, because Yeezus is a piece of shit, but I feel like there's still artistic effort there and not just like trying to grab at some clout. And I think The Life of Pablo is like kind of the beginning of Kanye trying to just grab for clout, because like we all remember him having like 4 different release dates for this and like continually delaying it, like telling everyone that he's like going back in the studio to finish it. He released a version of it and then re-released a different version of it later. And it's kind of, the whole vibe around it seemed like he was unraveling slightly as a human being. But the content on it, I think, is good because of that. Because the content is like slightly more manic. There's like slightly more chances being taken on it. A little bit more bravery with the production and even like the rapping style. But at the end of the day, most of it kind of sucks.
That album is some mid.
Yeah.
It is mid.
Like there's moments on it where it's like, this is truly brilliant.
Like,
but most of it is kind of just not that great.
Like I would say Father Stretch My Hands is okay, but that's because Kid Cudi saved that album. Kid Cudi saved that song. Then there was another song with Rihanna, which I fucking love, but I just can't recall it right now. That one's good as well. But
And Ultralight Beam.
And Ultralight Beam as well. But it's just like, it's like you said, it's like he's grasping for clout, and it's Kanye at this point realizes that he is Kanye. He is a god, and that's the downfall of all of his art. He's not rapping or making songs like Rent is due, and that's the problem.
Yeah, this is when Kanye becomes like fully meta, where it's like Kanye is no longer a person. Kanye is a
an image, is a brand.
Yeah,
And also, like, once you realize that, why do you keep rapping like you're trying to prove that to everyone else? Like, everyone already knows that, so you don't need to continually be like, I'm the fucking best, I'm the GOAT. Like, it's just super cringy, to be honest. But yeah, we got Coloring a Book by Chance. I don't know how I feel about this one.
This is where Chance starts to decline, because it's good, but it's not acid rap good. It's not 10-day good. You know what I'm saying?
And everyone, like, in 2016 was so obnoxious about shoving Chance down your throat too. Like, he was like, for whatever reason, just like hailed by the mainstream as like,
when
Chance is the best
like,
rapper ever. And if you don't think so, you're a piece of shit.
When a bunch of people earlier were meant, like, when I was saying that a bunch of people earlier that didn't normally like rap gravitated towards Chance, I feel like that happened twice as much with this record, where like a bunch of like super fucking nerdy white guys, given that's us, but like other nerdy white guys were just like, Chance the Rapper is like the best rapper of all time. And it's like, well, I don't believe you. Like, I'll believe.
And that's what irritated me, because like the people that were saying that, oh, Chance the Rapper was the best rapper alive because of this album, I'm like, y'all weren't there for acid rap. Y'all weren't there for 10-day. Like, y'all didn't listen to the projects that he released beforehand. Y'all just saw this because it was his first mainstream album that was on like a major streaming platform like Spotify. And they were just like, oh, this is great. I'm like, if you thought that this was great, wait till you hear 10-day. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know.
It's also just more. There's more of that like hype shit on Coloring Book. I feel like where it's just about like partying and keeping it light. And I feel like Acid Rap has a lot more like self exploration and shit. So
Yeah.
Yep.
and then we got Views by Drake, which we've already talked about in depth. Doesn't have anything to add to it other than I already said fuck Views.
No.
We got 3000 The Laced Odyssey by Flatbush Zombies. I put this on here because I specifically wanted to say Flatbush Zombies was the worst show I've ever been to in my life. Never see them live, ever, ever.
I almost went to that same show.
Unless
we
it was-
talked about this on the Alux episode, and I'm glad I did not.
Yeah, unless it was just an off night, like, they were fucked. Like, they would start a song and, like, get through, like, 20 seconds of it, and then they'd be like, you guys clearly aren't fucking with this one, so we're just gonna go on to the next one. Like, it was our fault that their set wasn't going good.
It was your fault.
We weren't a good enough audience, I guess. But yeah, I think 3001 A Laced Odyssey has 2 good songs on it and nothing more, and those are the only 2 good Flatbush songs that exist. And then we got Bottomless Pit by Death Grips. Put this one on here because this album fucking slaps.
I've been listening to a bunch of Death Grips since our last sode.
Nice. What do you think?
I like Death Grips.
Yeah.
I've always been into Death Grips, but you've gotten me more into them knowing what a big fan you are.
Nice. Yeah, they're not a group that I like listen to a bunch because you can't really like listen to it end to end and be like, fuck yeah, you'll probably kill other people if you do that. But yeah, for what it is, it's really, really good. And I think this album hones in a lot on proof of concept, like that it's not just like a one-off idea, that it is like something that you can build on and change. And then Yes Laud by No Worries. Sorry, I said that like
Yes, loud.
fucking white guy.
Yeah, I can't believe you just did Black Sand. Quincy.
If it's the name of the album, you got to give it a shot, right?
Not me. I would have hard R'd that one.
Yes,
Hey, yo.
Lord.
Lord.
But this album,
Oh, sorry.
It's
Hard
fucking-
R means something else. There.
yeah.
Wait a
I
minute.
love how you're realizing that now. But yeah, this album, I think is pretty good. A lot of like gospel influence in it, and Anderson .Paak plays like a shitload of really good drums on this record that are super fucking groovy. But yeah, it's also kind of just like somewhat an establishing album for Anderson .Paak because a lot of people thought he was like a part-time rapper before this, and this album kind of puts him on the board as like someone who can actually rap. And now we obviously know he's a fantastic rapper.
Oh, absolutely.
He can do literally anything he wants with ease, and he's really good at it.
That project that he did with
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars
Silk Sonic.
was that was
It's
fucking
so
amazing.
good.
It's
Dude,
so good.
I love it so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
yeah.
And Bruno Mars plays bass. Like, I never knew Bruno Mars could play the bass, and he's fucking so good at it.
The man played instruments. He's very talented.
Yeah,
Very
remember
talented.
that Super Bowl drum solo?
Mm.
I still think about that like
forget.
once a day. And then after that, we have Run the Jewels 3, which, like I kind of said, people revere this one and RTJ 1 for being like the best ones. And then I put We Got It From Here by A Tribe Called Quest. This is like their album, their first release in what, like 20 years, 25 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like half
95.
good.
Yeah, 21 years.
Yeah, I mean, people kind of liked it. It wasn't anyone's favorite, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. They put it out there. And then Untitled and Mastered by Kendrick, which I put on here because it kind of, to me, this proves how global Kendrick was at this time, because it's literally an album of rejected songs and like unmastered songs, and it's still like charted. Like, people fucking loved it. And I think a lot of his best work is on this record in a lot of ways.
You know you the GOAT when you release a throwaway album.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put out shit that's unfinished.
Here's the shit I didn't like.
If you're-
Eat it up, peasants.
If your shit is nothing but throwaways and it's charting, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Up there.
And it's like I said, like a lot of it is very high caliber stuff. It's just maybe stuff that didn't fit on current projects that he was working on at the time. But I think a lot of it feels to me like To Pimp a Butterfly reject songs. So, and then For Your Eyes Only by J. Cole. Again, this album was very critically acclaimed, and a lot of people gravitated to it.
Yet he
when it
did
came
not win a Grammy.
Again.
Gosh, I hate that.
And then we got Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown.
I love
Super
this
good
album.
alternative rap album. Danny Brown's the fucking man. Please come on our podcast, Danny Brown, or we'll come on yours if you want. And then Malibu by Anderson .Paak, which also came out same year, but it's a bit more like, I mean, Malibu's kind of interesting. Like, it's got jazz stuff on it. It's got hip hop, funk, soul. Like, it's all over the place. It's a good, like, collective effort, I feel like, from Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals.
All right, we gotta fly through the rest of the years.
We're getting there. We're almost done.
We cannot do another episode.
We got 444 by Jay-Z on here, which I think this record's really good.
Really good.
I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I listened to 444 when it came out, and it just was underwhelming to me.
It's definitely like not overdone, which I think is maybe why I like it, because a lot of the previous Jay-Z in the 2010s was like super overdone.
And this one was like important because he like
This is his
apologized to
apology
Beyonce.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is him confessing all of
What,
his
he cheated on
wrongdoings.
her?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, this is
Hence-
the cheating album.
Hence why he got his ass beat in the elevator.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What crazy.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, it is crazy. And the album, I think the album has a lot of like actual genuine emotion on it,
Oh, it
which
does.
is why it translates through being kind of like boring and flatly produced. And then Big Fish Theory by Vince Staples. This album is the peak of his fucking weirdness, in my opinion. There's a lot of like just grossness on this album, which I love. And then All American Badass by Joey Badass.
Oh man,
I like Joey Badass.
I
a
miss
lot.
that man
Yeah.
so much. Oh gosh, he made some of the best music during this time.
Yeah,
did.
I think this album is maybe the best album to come out this year, and there's a lot of contenders.
Do you guys ever watch Mr. Robot too?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good in that.
He's such a good actor.
And then we got Flower Boy by Tyler, which also I could maybe say would also be one of the best albums to come out this year. This album is what turned me on to Tyler, the Creator. Like, I didn't know about him before. I mean, I had heard of like Cherry Bomb, but I never listened to it because I was still in my douchebag phase of being like, this doesn't have instruments. But I was kind of coming out of that when Flower Boy came out, and I think Flower Boy is probably like one of the most like true to self albums to come out in the 2010s.
Isn't this the album where he came out?
Yeah, I think there were like rumors that
There was so
he-
much speculation about it.
because he had kind of rapped about like
Yeah.
sucking cock and stuff before, but like, I mean, a lot of straight people talk about sucking cock. And it's fucking awesome. But yeah, I think this was his album of being like, this is who I am, like this is what I'm all about, and people fucking loved it. Like, it was super critically acclaimed too. So
All right, damn, Kendrick.
Album of the fucking year.
Yeah, that
No
I
one
would
says.
agree. And it's crazy that this was 20 because Damn still feels like a new album. It was 6 years ago.
I think it was his
Crazy.
latest album until he released another project afterward.
Mhm.
And yeah, it took.
it was 5 years between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think it's weird to me, and this isn't me trying to shit on Damn, but it's weird to me how popular Damn is and was, considering how kind of straightforward it is. Like,
Yeah.
not too many frills. It's very raw compared to like To Pimp a Butterfly, and it's very much just like a straightforward rap album.
I think it's just because of the hype behind it too.
Sure.
Like a lot of people heard they were riding that To Pimp a Butterfly wave. So when Damn came out, not to say that it's not a good album, it's definitely album of the year, clearly. But it's like everyone was riding that To Pimp a Butterfly wave, and then when this released, they were like, "Oh yeah, this is about to be the best album of the year." And sure enough, it was.
And because I was so obsessed with To Pimp a Butterfly when Damn came out, I was kind of underwhelmed for like a little bit. It took me like probably like 3 to 4 months to really be like, oh no, this is fucking amazing. Like, I got a little bit bored by it, despite how like hard it is and raw it is. And just a quick mention. Did you guys ever listen to like the collector's edition of Damn where he like flipped the track list?
No.
Because apparently the original Damn is backwards, and if you flip it, all the like transition tracks and stuff play in order, and that's like the intended track list.
Weird.
So yeah, listen to it backwards, and it's like it feels like a completely different fucking album. When he said that, like when they released the collector's edition, I was like, this is just a gimmick to put out a different version of the
Why'd
same
they
album.
flip it in the first place?
But I don't know, like maybe because of
Only so
how
you could
different
do
it hits, like it
Yeah.
truly does hit completely differently when you listen to it backwards. So check out the collector's edition of Damn.
Well, the transition tracks on Damn though are so fucking killer.
So
and,
good.
like,
And
the
I thought that
Fox
the
News
transition
stuff
tracks,
and so
the transition
good.
tracks on To Pimp a Butterfly, like that, like freestyle poem that he like adds a verse to,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
or not even a whole verse, but just like a line to. I thought that was like the coolest transition concept I'd like ever heard in my life. And then Damn came out, and he like one-upped it, where it's like, oh shit, this is even
Kung
cooler.
Fu Kenny. New shit.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then It's a Savage by 21 Savage.
That album is so mid. The album was so mid. I'm so mad because like he had just released like two projects before this, and so when this came out and everybody was like singing at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I was like, dude, calm the fuck on. Please don't do this.
It's in my bag.
Oh my god,
That song was trending for a really long time.
for too long, way too long.
And then we got the Future self-titled.
Oh, my Lord and Savior, Future. Oh man, I love. We missed some projects by him, but like he's my go rapper.
When was the first Future year for you? When did you get into Future?
2014.
Okay.
2014, 2015. And I'll tell you why. This man, I'm gonna tell you right now, this man is the only person that can release 3 projects and hit platinum
Yeah.
in a span of 1 year. 56 Nights, Dirty Sprite 2, and Beast Mode. All released within the same year. All went
That's
platinum.
pretty wild.
This man is goated. All like, and it was all mumble rap, but again, it was mumble rap with taste. It was mumble rap with substance. You know, that misogyny that came from Future's lyrics, I don't know what hit me during that time, but it was so good. I'm telling you, I still go back to those mixtapes and that album, and I'm just like, fuck, this is so good. Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. Will that shit fly in 2023? Probably not, but you know what? I'm gonna still listen to that shit anyway.
Because of the liberals' woke agenda.
Yeah, the Holly Weird.
Weird. The same kids or the same people who molest kids. I'm upset that I was like such a hipster piece of shit and kind of checked out on rap for a while and missed Future. Because I've gone back obviously and listened to a lot of Future. I'm like, it would have been cool to be like in on Future.
And kind of how we've talked about how like all of rock since Kurt Cobain is post-Nirvana fallout, I kind of think that like, and Future's obviously not dead, but like I think that ever since Future's intro and like first couple albums, a lot of modern pop and rap is like post-Future intro, because people are definitely trying to emulate that formula that he has.
And even that self-titled album and even that self-titled album was like really, really good. It wasn't his best, but it was really good. Like Mask Off trended for a long time, and I think this was like
trended for a really long time.
This was peak like Vine era, because like Vine was everyone had that track in their background for Vine videos.
And then it came back like fully when COVID was a thing, because everyone was putting it in TikToks. Like,
oh yeah,
what a marketing genius!
So good.
And we got Saturation 1, 2, and 3 by Brockhampton. I put this on here because I fucking hate Brockhampton. I think they're fucking trash. They have there's some Brockhampton that I like, but I think Saturation for the most part isn't good. But I do think it is a good example of like white indie kids trying to get into rap.
I didn't even give Brockhampton a chance, because by the time I heard of them, they were like already like everyone fucking loved Brockhampton. So I was like,
I think they're
not
decent.
even worth trying out.
They get experimental. They get weird with it, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is speaking more to them trying to cultivate a specific audience rather than do
You can
things
say
for
white
artistic
audience, it's okay.
integrity. Not even a white audience, just like an audience of like they were trying to grab people from like the indie scene and like the alternative scene because it was at a time I feel like when rap was already branching into that universe, and so they were like, let's just lean extra hard into it. And I think that Saturation is an example of that not working out, but then I think there are examples where it does like work out pretty good. Like like very specific songs. Like I don't think there's an entire album that I would fuck with by Brockhampton, but there's some individual songs that I like. 2018 we got Daytona by Pusha T. This
that
album's really good. Yeah.
This is the album where he talks shit about Drake.
Yeah,
So
this is
fucking
what
great.
started the
Drake
beef.
feud.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Because he was talking about, I think, Drake's kid.
Kid,
And that's how all of a sudden, like, his kids started to become this big topic around this time. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, poor kid, but it's what you get, I guess. And then we got Astro World, and we all know how that ends.
This is my favorite album of all time. I'm so
All time, really?
of all
Shit.
from Travis Scott.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Okay.
Of all time. From
Yeah, it's
Travis
probably my
Scott.
favorite Travis
Yeah,
Scott album.
just
too.
because it was great. The hype was well deserved around it. Obviously, he had a festival, but people in Houston don't know how to fucking act, and so that's why Astroworld disaster happened. Yeah, great album. It deserves all the accolades. I think it won a Grammy that year, but I can't remember.
It was nominated for sure.
Yeah.
Then we got Everything Is Loved by the Carters, which is the Jay-Z and Beyonce combo, which this album is really good too. And it's kind of about healing after terrible stuff happens, so that's
Right.
cool. And then KOD by J. Cole.
I wonder how many dudes who've cheated on their girlfriends have just played this for their girlfriends. Like, babe, it's cool. Like, we're gonna get through this. It's fine that I cheated on you.
The most powerful couple in the world got over
Yeah.
it. So.
Exactly.
And then Redemption by J-Rock, which I fucking love this album. I would put it in my top 10 also.
Dude, I don't even know who J-Rock is.
Really?
TD.
Listen to
TD.
Redemption by J-Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Iridescence by Brockhampton, which I think this is a little bit better of an example of Brockhampton not being horrible. And then we got Room 25 by No Name. I put No Name on here because she's one of my girlfriend's favorites. And she's like very freeform, like stream of consciousness. And I think she's like also takes a lot of influence from like indie and like alternative rap. And she's really cool. Like she's very chill and like kind of like wanders through all her songs, but she also like is very direct and like to the point for all her shit, which is sick. And then we got Streams of Thought Volume 1 by Black Thought, which is Black Thought's the dude from The Roots. This is his first solo. There's a shitload of freestyle on it and a shitload of really, really, really good, like intense freestyle where like he is pretty much just a poet, like reciting poetry. Like it's very much, in my opinion, like a different thing from rapping where it's not like the verses aren't like interacting with the beats. Like they're two totally different things. And then Yay by Kanye.
Trash.
Horrible.
Trash. Skip it.
Kids See
Score.
Ghosts.
I love this one.
Good album.
I think this was Kid Cudi's return to fame.
And I think it's the last good thing Kanye ever put his hands on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember there was a lot of stuff at this time of like Kid Cudi hating Kanye. Even though he was, remember like there was that viral video that went out where Kid
They
Cudi's
delayed
just
the
staring
release
at
of
Kanye
this
like
like
he
3
wanted to kill
times
him.
too.
Yeah.
I think Kanye was losing his shit when they were making
Absolutely.
this. But
Yeah.
And then
Scorpion.
Scorpion, which
Thoughts?
Good one.
Oh, another.
you like
damn.
Scorpion?
It was a good one.
Oh.
So even 2018,
I
Drake
told you,
was
up-
still.
I-
Yeah, you did
Up
say
to 2020,
Yeah.
this man was doing good projects, and then pandemic happened, and we got pandemic music.
And then we got Swimming by Mac Miller, which is the first, in my opinion, the first of the change where it's much more focused on like somewhat traditional instrumentation and like singing and
Doesn't
being
he
an
die
indie
this
sad
year
boy.
now though? 2018.
Yes,
I think he
this is
dies
when
2018,
he
but
dies September
Circles is
2018.
already Circles was like pretty much done, right?
Yeah.
It was like 90% of the way done, and then they
Released
finished it for him,
Yeah.
but it was already like pretty much put together. And then Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B.
Love Cardi B.
I've always hated the artwork for this album, and therefore I don't like the album.
Is this the one where she's like in like 1950s nostalgia?
Yeah, she's like wearing
pin-up thing.
Yeah.
Or it's like 60s, I guess. Yeah. No, I like that album art. I like that album.
I just don't like
your fucking
how
problem?
I don't like how retro it looks. It's a retro looking art that is on an album that is like sparkly, brand new feeling.
Well, maybe
But
that was
that's
their
just the
artistic
artwork.
vision.
It's still a good album. It was a hype album.
You really judge books by their covers.
I sure do, buddy. We got FM by Vince Staples. Also a super good record. Some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt. This is Earl getting super weird with it. Like, this album is really out there. There's some songs where it's like, there's like no consistent time. And like, again, the rap is like super freeform and like really all over the place. I think it's very good. Very original work. And then Tana Talk 3 by Benny the Butcher. I put this on here because Benny the Butcher is like one of my favorite alternative rappers.
I don't know Benny the Butcher either.
He's fucking cool. Like, he's super cool.
check
He
it
has
out.
a lot of like kind of old school style, but like, and a lot of like gangsta rap influence lyrically speaking too. Like, a lot of it is about like fucking people up and like, yeah, being a fucking gangster. And then Veteran by JPEG Mafia. This album's super fucking out there. And then Kamikaze by Eminem.
This is when I thought that Eminem should retire. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He should have retired.
100%.
Like, cause his style of rap did not fit in the era of music that these artists were coming out with. Like,
No, it was bizarre and
Yeah.
just
like you listen to that you listen to that album for the nostalgia factor, and the nostalgia factor only.
And he stole the album cart from the Beastie Boys.
yeah.
so.
It was. Yep. All right. No one needs to hear us review albums that came out in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022.
I mean,
It's
we got
been
Igor by Tyler, the Creator.
Which I love.
one of the good ones. Danny Brown one was good. Jesus is King, Kanye. That was.
We got Kirk by the Baby.
Kirk was alright. Kirk was alright.
I think I put that on there because the Baby is a really good like face of when rap truly turns for the worst.
Yeah,
like,
Here's my problem.
all of the Baby's tracks and raps and hooks are created with the sole purpose of being like on the internet in a video.
And if you notice, it's the same way throughout all his songs, and
they're all exactly the same.
and it won't fit with any other person's songs. It's so bad. It's so
Yeah.
bad. Oh, man.
Debate's bad. I was gonna say, you don't have any little peep. on the
I
list?
think
Please no.
I think
Please
I
no.
I'm not that little peep and all of that shit around that, like all the little peeps of the worlds and the fucking.
That's
You have Juice WRLD on here and the fucking.
Well, I love Juice WRLD.
I
Yeah,
had to
Juice
put
WRLD's
Juice WRLD
different
on here.
but I group them together like Trippy Red, Little Peep,
Yes.
Juice WRLD, where it's
They're all
just
like internet clout rappers.
clout
Yes,
rappers
yes.
and just like crazy out there. Where it's like, are these even people anymore?
I mean, literally, like Trippy Red's label is literally called Internet Money. Like,
Yeah.
come on, come on. They don't even try to hide the shit.
no
bro.
Tekashi 6ix9ine either.
No.
Fuck that dude. He's a rat.
All right, let's hit 2020 as quick as we can and just keep doing it that way.
Yeah.
Run the Jewels 4. I think that album slaps. We got Circles by Mac Miller. I think that album's pretty good too. I think Swimming is better.
Fair.
I'd take that silence as an agreement. Got King's Disease, the first one by Nas, which I think is the worst King's Disease, but still a really good album. And then Shrines by Armand Hammer, which this dude, again, like very alternative style rap, and like a lot of his tracks are just like noise, like ambient fucking noise, no pulse, which is really cool. And then Blame It On Baby by the Baby.
Made.
Alfredo by The Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs, which I would say probably a top 5 rap album for me. I fucking love it. I think that the raps on that are impeccably good.
Yep.
And then Legends Never Die by Juice WRLD.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Juice WRLD like influenced, I would say, more people our age than like any other rapper we've talked about so far. Like,
I agree.
almost anyone I talk to these days, our age or younger, their favorite artist is Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
And he has so many songs, and there's like such a wealth of back catalog that like there's got to be something for everyone, you know?
Absolutely.
And then 2021, we got Lil Sims with Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. Everyone really liked this album. I never really got the hype, but
I don't even know who Little Sims is. I'm sorry.
I don't either.
Cool.
I'm aware of the name, but I've never listened.
I think
to
she was one of those, again, like more artistic, like alternative style.
it. You like Lil
rappers.
Sims?
Yeah, she's like British, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, rapper?
Yeah. Then The Off Season by J. Cole.
Really good album.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The Vince Staples self-titled, which I put this on here because this is like the first Vince Staples album of like the V2 Vince Staples, where it's like a lot more gentle, a lot more like self-reflective and like introspective and like kind of sad almost, like not as hypey or like weird and in your face, a lot more casual.
Yeah.
The First Magic by Nas. Certified Lover Boy by Drake.
Oh,
Hell yeah! We finally got there!
Boo! Or rather, it was mid, but boo!
I think this album's
Mid as
horrible.
hell. Yeah.
I think it's horrible. And then Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator. Fantastic record.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Donda, Kanye.
Oh,
sucked.
my
King's
God.
Disease 2 by Nas. I think King's Disease 2 is the best one,
Yeah,
in my
sure.
opinion. And then Weight of the World by Maxo Cream. This album is fucking gangster as hell.
Yes,
I
sir.
love this album.
Maxo.
He raps about, dude, some of the bars on this record are like so fucking gangster. Like I can't believe a man would come up with that.
You,
Like,
you like a Houston rapper now, huh?
oh, absolutely.
Oh my God, yeah, I love Maxo. Oh man, another person that grew up in
I
my
want to
neighborhood
quote
too.
so many Maxo things, but I know that I can't.
I fucking love Maxo.
And then Melodic Blue by Baby Keem. Again, kind of a hypey album, but there's a lot of good Kendrick moments. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I have to say about that. 2022, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry. I know we didn't talk about Denzel Curry at all before this, and we probably should have a little bit, but I think this album is a good encapsulation of it.
Yeah.
Like, he's on an upward trajectory of, like, being kind of weird and alternative, but also, like, super hooky, and I think this album is a good encapsulation of all that.
Right.
And then God Don't Make Mistakes by Conway the Machine. Fucking love Conway the Machine. Check him out also. He's, like, pretty similar to Benny the Butcher, like,
Okay.
alternative underground slightly. And then Ramona Park Broke My Heart by Vince Staples, another like sad kind of like, I mean, it's a kind of like a love album. Like he raps a lot about like having his heart broken and stuff. And then Louis by Kenny Beats. I put this on here because this is a rap album made by like a
producer.
Like I
Kind
don't
of
want
like
to call
DJ
him
Khaled.
EDM.
He's
but-
kind of like DJ Khaled in the sense that like he's making songs that people will just hop on. But
and he
yeah.
didn't start out making like rap. He started out making more like dancey
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
But this album was like, I don't think it was the #1 album of this year, like Billboard wise, but I think it was on the top 10 Billboard wise. And then DS Forever by Gunna.
I fucking love Gunna, but I'm sorry. He
It's kind of a downhill.
yeah, it's a down. Well, I say downhill in the sense that like he snitched on Young Thug, so I can't support
Oh yeah, I
him no more.
completely forgot
know
about
that.
that. And then Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick. I think I don't want to call this like a step back from his last two because like, I mean, his last two were like perfect. How do you top perfect albums? But
Right.
this album takes a lot more chances, and I don't necessarily think all those chances pay off. I think there's some moments that are a little bit weird.
It definitely wasn't like in the top 3 at all, if you ask me.
I also think there's just like too much going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a little too much jam packed into it. But.
Yeah.
And then Cheat Codes by Black Thought. His not his second solo album. There's been other ones in between, but this is his first solo album that I think people actually talked about and like it got a lot of attention and notoriety. And it's super good. It has a lot of good features on it too. And then Soul Sold Separately by Freddie Gibbs. Another album that's pretty long. I think there's a little bit too much on it, like a little bit too much going on, but it's pretty good. A little bit of a step back from like the Alchemist style of production where it's like loop based and a lot of like jazz influence.
Something happened between like 2016 and now where like every rap album has to be like a double album too. And
Yeah.
has to, you know,
But
has
all
to
the
have
songs are
skits.
2 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. But it has to have at least 20 songs.
Yeah. And then King's Disease 3 by Nas, Sick by Earl Sweatshirt, which I think Sick is incredible. There's some anti-vaccine shit on it, but hey, you're going to have that with tortured geniuses.
Yeah, as a Republican, I was all about that one.
I think that the anti-vaccine shit on that is more about like why black people shouldn't trust the government than it is about like why we shouldn't believe science, but Who
I mean,
knows?
he has a point. He
Yeah,
had a point.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, and then Her Loss by Drake.
Boo!
It just makes me feel good to hear you say that.
No, I'm just saying. Like I told you, every project after 2020 just went downhill. It sucked.
Total contrast to that, though. Finally, some good art. God did.
God
by
did.
DJ
God
Khaled.
did?
God did.
I put this on here because even though I think this is a complete joke, like I think DJ
Every
Khaled's a
song
joke. I
charted.
think God Did is a joke. Like the art is horrible. Yeah, pretty much every single song charted from this album.
Yeah.
It was like one of the biggest albums of the year.
Because this dude was a meme during this year, dude.
Oh, totally.
He was a meme.
So
And
a
because he
meme
was a
now.
meme, they were putting his songs on TikToks. Therefore, it got the streams. Therefore, it got the numbers. Therefore, he got the accolades. Like, he didn't, if you ask me, in terms of actual content, he didn't deserve to win any
100%.
awards. But he got it because social media made it famous.
And you can be completely mediocre as long as it's
viral.
funny or has some sort of like curb appeal.
Yep.
Essentially. And then Special by Lizzo. I listened to this because
I
I
didn't
felt
listen
bad
to
for
it.
Lizzo and all the hate she was getting on the internet. Not before she got like Me Too'd or whatever, but
Yeah.
like when people were just like, she's fat, fuck her, she's ugly. Like I felt kind of bad. So I checked it out. Not good. Really not good.
Deserves the hate.
Deserves the hate.
And then up to this year, we got Magic
2023.
2 by Nas, my favorite Magic. And then we got We Buy Diabetic Test Strips by Arm & Hammer. This album is a noise album. Like, it's very, very avant-garde, which I like. And then College Park by Logic.
Skip
I
it.
thought this was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
T-Pain. Boo.
Lil Pump.
oh,
Lil
wait,
Pump.
I love T-Pain. I'm just joking.
We've
I
got
didn't listen to this album, though. Is it a good
On
album?
Top of the
didn't
Covers?
listen to
Yeah.
it, no.
It's a covers album. It's super good. It's him.
Good pun, too.
Let me
Oh,
here.
yeah. No, this is the one that had, like, War Pigs on it. I listened to this.
Yeah.
That seems like way longer ago than I
And you,
heard
and you
this.
said boo?
I don't know. Excuse you.
He's just trying to finish
Just
up.
trying to move this
He
along.
wants us to be done because he's mad.
I understand.
And then Scarlet by Doja Cat.
Gross.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. A lot of people really like it, but I
Gen
just-
Z likes it.
Yeah, I guess that's
It's
fair.
not us.
Those sick perverts.
And then Macklemore's first album without Ryan Lewis, I think.
Macklemore
Maybe it's his
released an
second
album
one
this year?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh,
It's
God.
fucking horrible.
Fucking
He put out this single, like I think he was trying to recreate like the thrift shop and like downtown vibes because he released like a single with like
Yeah,
this
I'm sure
gigantic,
Macklemore would
super
love to
produced
have
music
another-
video at the same time. And yeah, it just isn't good. It's
You
horrible.
fucking stink, Macklemore. Stop making music. Fuck. You fucking suck. You had Ryan Lewis try to save your career. You fucking suck.
Well,
It
this
just
doesn't even
stinks.
have Ryan Lewis.
Yeah, and then it's horrible. I didn't even know he released it. It's horrible.
And then we got Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty.
I like Lil Yachty a lot.
I-
I liked this album, too.
This album's really good.
Yeah.
It's like a psych rock album, kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Magic 3 by Nas, Scaring the Hose by Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia.
Stop
which
scaring the hoes.
I think this album's really good, too. And then War Dire by Earl Sweatshirt and The Alchemist. It's their first full album together and their first collaborative work in a few years at least. And I think it's fucking phenomenal. And then Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert.
This is when his Uzi fell off here. He had so many good projects starting in 2016, but he fell off here.
Yeah,
So bad.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And then I have my
Gonna do the
honorable
other
mentions
stuff.
list. I Want to Die in New Orleans by Suicide Boys because I didn't want to put it on a rap list because it's Suicide Boys, but I think this album is like a really good encapsulation of like emo rap, like white boy emo rap.
I fucking hate Suicide. Because
I can't blame you. Like they definitely stole a lot of formulas and kind of just like ripped off a lot of people, but
someone literally tried to compare them to 3-6 Mafia, and I wanted to slap the shit out of them.
the only reason they're similar to 3-6 is because they used all their tracks, but
Come on
you know,
now.
other than that, not too much. I put Feet of Clay on here by Earl Sweatshirt because, again, I wouldn't consider it like a rap album. It's very avant-garde and experimental, but I think it's my favorite Earl Sweatshirt, even though it's only like 20 minutes long. Then Sleaford Mott's Spare Ribs, put that on here for Colin. Great album. It's like British post-punk, but it's definitely influenced by rap.
You listen to the Pet Boys
The Pet Shop Boys remix of that one song, yeah. And then 10 by West Side Gun.
West Side Gun's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
He's not good, but he's decent.
Yeah, the thing about West Side Gun is like his rapping isn't like technical at all, but he has a really good vibe, I think.
Yeah.
And then put Natural Brown Prom Queen by Sudan Archives on here because she again has like a lot of different things going on her albums, but there is a lot of really solid rapping going on at the same time. And then I put City Morgue 2 As Good As Dead by City Morgue on here because I think City Morgue is really good. Again, like more of that like emo and like super edgy alternative rap style, but pretty cool. And then I put Action Bronson on here. I just wanted to mention White Bronco, Lamb Over Ice, Only for Dolphins, Cocodrillo Turbo, because, you know, I kind of also didn't want to put Action Bronson on a rap list because he's more underground and like independent, but
I think he's rap, though.
I think he's considered rap for sure. He's just not usually mentioned in the conversation with like
because he was part
bigger
of that
rap artists.
Because he was part of that underground with back when Tyler, Earl, like Odd Future,
And even
early
Chance.
TDE, early Chance, like all SoundCloud era, you know.
100%, yeah. I think he's a little bit underappreciated, but I think he still gets enough hype. Like he's not completely forgotten about.
Yeah.
And then I've got African American Death Dodger by Nick Hill Smith on here. I just put that on here because it's super, super avant-garde, like very noisy, shitloads of vocal processing. Like the tracks are very chopped up and weird, and it's just, I think, an indicator of like where alternative rap is going to be going over the next few years. And then I put Yes Sir Whatever by Quasimodo on here because that album's fucking classic. Put Conspiracy by Junior Mafia because we forgot to mention that way back when, and I think that it definitely deserves to be mentioned.
Yeah.
And then Mystic Styles by 3-6 because I think that is what started like the underground and like emo rap trend that we still have going on today. And then I put Modal Soul by Noon Jabez on here because that album just fucking rips. Like it's a good fusion of a lot of different types of music. And then Paul's Boutique by Beastie Boys because we never talked about the Beastie Boys.
We did
and
not.
Paul's Boutique is a fucking masterpiece. And I think that in a lot of ways, rap wouldn't have started to focus more on like production in the 90s if it wasn't for the Beastie Boys.
Right.
So.
Right.
All right, my quick honorable mentions. We didn't talk about Young Dolph. We didn't talk about Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah, we didn't
Young
talk about
Dolph!
we didn't talk about Nipsey.
Yeah,
my God.
Nipsey Hussle. And then
We missed a lot of Southern rappers, I'll say that. But that's my
Yeah.
fault, though. That's my fault. I should have mentioned them.
we're
got
gonna
caught
do
up.
a full Southern rap episode with A-Lux and Austin Luxuries. And I think you should be on that one too.
I'm down.
Cool.
I feel like we missed a lot because Atlanta rappers need their own section for sure.
100%.
All right, Quincy, finish off with your honorable mentions. I'm signing off because I got to set this shit up.
Well, I already mentioned Future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of his 3 back-to-back mixtapes, and then the DS2 album. Then you got Uzi coming out around that time. Pretty much everything from summer of 16, right? I encourage everyone to go watch that Double XL freestyle from 2016. A lot of rappers were good on that shit. So yeah, Kodak. I don't think we mentioned Kodak
We
Black
didn't
at
mention
all.
Kodak.
We didn't mention Kodak Black. We need to mention more 21 Savage, more Lil Yachty, more Lil Uzi, because like all of them came out around that time and they were just fantastic. Oh, and Megan Thee Stallion. We didn't mention her at all.
No,
either.
we did not. I do
So.
not. I fucking hate Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that to me.
I don't know. I'm going to come off very sexist in this episode because I've pretty much just said I hate every female rapper, but like...
well, you only do because they're women.
Well, besides that, they're not good rappers.
Chill. Wait, no. Megan, no. Megan's
I take
good.
that back. Megan is a really good rapper.
Like if
the
you
thing
had,
that annoys me about like Megan Thee Stallion and like Cardi B is how like on the nose they are with their rap.
the only reason why is because industry.
I guess
It's
you're right.
industry because if you listen to their freestyles, they're rapping with substance. It's industry. The only way you can get popular is if you follow a formula, and the formula is not good.
They do it in a way that's almost so like blatant and obvious that it's artful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I wish I could
Anyways,
agree
I'm
with
signing
that.
off now.
I mean, I don't think it's their fault. I think that it is more of that classic thing we see with a lot of big artists where they want to continue to stay on algorithms and like be
Yeah.
trending on the internet or whatever it might be. But at the same time, I just get annoyed with how repetitive that is. And I think that there's a lot of artists and rappers like separating, just generalizing it so it's about all art. Like, I think there's a lot of artists who stay in their lane of trying to only release stuff that they would stand by. And I just don't necessarily feel that way about like Cardi B. Like, I think that every time Cardi B puts out an album, there's going to be like one or two songs where it's like, all right, this is like our TikTok song. This is like our fucking club booty shake song.
Right.
Like, I don't know enough about Megan Thee Stallion to like say that she's the same way. I just kind of get that vibe because I've stayed outside of that universe.
she's a great rapper. It's just like again, the state of rap music now is so shit, and I'm blaming the industry because it's all for likes, retweets, views. What's viral, what's hot. If you try to stay true to what's you and it's not viral, you're not making it to the charts, and unfortunately you don't get discovered. And a lot of art, it sucks because there's a lot of good artists out there that deserve their flowers, but they won't get it because they don't follow the trends.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily willing to do what it takes to follow those trends.
Exactly.
Which I respect both sides of it. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get popular. There's also nothing wrong with wanting to stay in your own lane and like do what feels best for you as an artist. But I just don't think, I think you're always going to alienate somebody as an artist.
Absolutely.
And I personally feel alienated by those people that are making like clout grabs.
Exactly.
Personally. So
All right.
fuck yeah. Well, Colin's already shown his way out. He's done. He said, fuck you guys. Fuck your podcast. So, guess we'll close this one out. Yeah, we're talking about you, fucking dumbass.
Fuck you guys and fuck the listeners.
Oh my gosh.
All right, well, thanks for joining us again.
No, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
I definitely need. Thank you, Colin. No, I really needed to speak my piece about rap music because like I don't listen to a lot of it now just because of like how, and you saw like how my opinions have changed and how my demeanor has changed and like with as the years gone by, because it's just gotten progressively worse and you started to see how it's changed and what has made it change. So yeah, I'm glad you had me on here.
Yeah.
Speak my piece.
Definitely would not have been the same without you. And even though we're done talking about rap for now, probably for a little while, because we got to talk about other stuff now for a bit. But when we come back to rap in a few months, like, please join us again. And I mean, join us for literally anything else too. If you want to talk about like 2000s Radiohead with us, you're welcome to. But yeah, we'll definitely have to keep talking about rap. It's an endless conversation.
For sure.
And there will always be new things coming out that change our perspective on older shit and the future of the genre too. So I think we're done since Colin just unplugged his fucking mic. Thanks for listening to the podcadzo.
Peace out.
I'm gay.